So I stopped at a local farm market today and picked up some fresh dill. It's a little wilted now. I picked it up earlier, but I'm going to show you guys how to make some sun pickles. First thing you guys are going to need is a gallon jar, and these are the type of gallon jars that you get from Gordon's Food Service, a bulk of vegetables, whatever comes in these. And you want to make sure it's glass, and the ones with the plastic lids are preferable. They don't rust as bad, but if you do have a little bitty rusty lid, you can just put some Visqueen on there and put the lid on. But a glass jar, gallon glass jar, half gallon, just depends on how much you're making. So what we're going to need for this is our gallon jar. We're going to need some alum, and you can pick this up in the canning section of the grocery store. We're going to need white distilled vinegar. We're going to need water and canning salt. Also, I like to add garlic and then some different type of peppers. These are jalapenos that I got out of my garden this morning. And of course, we are going to need some pickling cucumbers, and a lot of different cucumbers will work. You just want to make sure to pick them when they're about pickle size. Pick them young so they're not that big, and we'll go through here and pick a bunch of these cukes here, and then we'll make our brine. I'll just go through and pick the size ones that I want, and then maybe some bigger ones, and then I'll leave a few to get bigger for cucumbers. The girls like the cucumbers. And then that was the haul for this morning. So there's a lot of different sizes there, and I like them to be different, some bigger, some smaller, so when I'm putting them in a jar, I can, piece that I need, I can get as many of these cucumbers in the jar as I possibly can. Make sure we clean off our pickles, all the dirt. Scrub them by hand too. Make sure you get all any flower ends off the end of them. Alright, on to the brine. And my brine consists of 2 to 1. And it's 2 parts water, 1 part vinegar. And the recipe that I use is I use 6.5 cups of water, which I got in here. And then I'll add 3 1/4 cups of vinegar, and you'll have extra after you do this, but I usually use the extra to make spears. You're gonna need 2/3 cup of canning salt. You don't want to use regular salt, canning salt here. And if you do use 6 cups water, 3 cups vinegar, just even it out. I would cut down the salt just a little bit. We're going to put this in here, and then we're just going to whisk it. And this is cool water. I never boiled the water, never heated it up. It's just cool water, and I'm just going to whisk it until I get all that salt dissolved. We're going to want to make sure our jars are nice and clean, and we're going to start to pack our jars. So I'm going to cut up a couple jalapenos here, put in there. And then I have some minced garlic here. About a tablespoon of minced garlic. Use clove you use clove, I suggest breaking it up a little bit so it makes a better brine. I'm gonna throw in a dried Carolina Reaper pepper and a dried ghost chili pepper. And you would think that that would make it hot, but actually it gives it some spice, but it doesn't make it really, really hot. We're gonna add a generous amount of dill. The more, the better. Next, we'll just pack our jars with pickles and cucumbers. And I use different size ones here so I can make the most out of the room I got. So after we get the jars packed, we're going to add some more jalapeno peppers on top. We're going to add just a tad bit more garlic. And then last, well, second to last, our alum. When we add our alum, we want to use a tablespoon of alum. For a half gallon, use a teaspoon, and for quarts, we'll use a half teaspoon, and then top it off with some dill. And we'll add our brine. I like to fill it up as close as I can to the very top of the jar. And these pickles get to floating. Doesn't give them any air to float onto. So I'll go up to the rim there. Put our lid on. Sure it's tight. Then we'll just stick them out here in the sun. Anywhere in the sun will do. And we'll let them sit out here for 3 days. And if you get some cloudy days, you can add a day. But every day I kind of rotate them, shake them up and down, and they won't be as, by the third day, second day, they'll start to shrink down, so there will be a lot more space in these to shake up all the goodness and get all the garlic and peppers and dill mixed around and into them. And after the third day, at the end of the third day, you want to keep them in the refrigerator. These don't fare very well outside of a refrigerator. And show you what they look like once they're done here. And I can get a good view on them here. But you know, once they're done, it'll start to look like regular pickles, and they are delicious.